Hello, and welcome to a supplemental After Dark podcast video. I'm Anthony, and that's Konrad.
Hello.
Well guys, in this video, very quickly, we are going to be doing top 10s in Dark. We're going to finish with the top 10 moments, which wasn't in the podcast, and if you would subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. If you give us a thumbs up, that'd be great. As a proviso, Konrad has only seen up to episode 5 of season 3, so there's nothing from the last 3 episodes. Top 10 Jonas betrayals. Number 10!
Alt Martha bails on Stranger and the gang in 1888. It's fair to say that Alt Martha and Stranger didn't have the best of relationships when she turned up in 1888, yet it still must have stung to have the mirror image of the woman he once thought dead abandon him again.
Number 9!
Jonas has to kill his dad. If Dark has taught us anything, it is never to trust anyone. Jonas never really learned this lesson, and never was that more clear than when he turned up in 2019 expecting to stop his father Michael from killing himself, only to realise that he was actually there to cause it.
Number 8.
Stranger won't let himself out of bunker jail. A fairly minor betrayal in the grand scheme of things, but it must have sucked for young Jonas to meet his older self and then immediately have his older counterpart refuse to free him from the bunker.
Number 7.
Young Alt Martha tells Jonas to fuck off. This one must have stung. Martha is dead. Wait a minute, she's only kind of dead. Oh wait, this one hates me.
How could this happen to me?
Number 6.
Bartosz loses faith in Sic Mundus. How dare the man we all suspect to be an older Bartosz break away from Sic Mundus after everything that Adam has done for him?
How could this happen to me?
Number 5.
Hannah goes to seduce men in the 50s. Doesn't get much more clear-cut than this. All it took was one argument with a stranger to convince the ever-flaky Hannah that she'd be better off starting a new life where pesky things, like children and the repercussions of adultery, can't affect her.
Number 4.
Bartosz steals Jonas's girl. Jonas returns to school after a period away to mourn the suicide of his father to find that not only has Bartosz still not learned to respect women, but he has also stolen his girlfriend. Nice one, Bartosz.
Number 3.
Hannah didn't keep the fridge well stocked. Hannah's failures as a parent are many and well documented, but none more egregious than her failure to keep the power and the fridge on. No cereal for you, Jonas.
Number 2.
We only did 9 of these. Oops.
Number 1.
Martha just straight up kills Jonas. A fairly minor development in the grand scheme of things. Alt Martha confirms that she very much is still Jenny from the Alt block when she guns down Jonas in cold blood in an attempt to stop Adam.
Top 10 romances that probably shouldn't have happened. Number 10.
Hannah and Egon. Hannah doesn't handle romance well, and Egon sure as hell wasn't ready for a child.
Number 9.
Hannah and Ulrich. There could be a million timelines in a million worlds, and this relationship still wouldn't work out.
Number 8.
Jonas and Martha. Say it with me now. She is your aunt.
Number 7.
Jonas and Martha. Again. This feels like Jonas exploited a loophole in the old world stuff to bone down with his aunt again. Okay, they're not technically related this time, but this is like taking all of the free samples at a supermarket. While it's technically not stealing, you and I both know that morally you are in the wrong.
Number 6.
Eli and Noah. Ellie is her own grandmother, which technically means Noah is having sex with his own granddaughter.
Number 5.
Tronta and Jana. Tronta never really moved on from Claudia, and Jana probably should have known better than to expect a Nielsen-shaped leopard to change its spots.
Number 4.
Hannah and Ulrich. Again. Million timelines, million worlds.
Number 3.
Magnus and Franziska. Noah is Franziska's grandfather and Magnus's great uncle. It's a loose familial relationship, but close enough to pinch unless you're a member of a 19th century European royalty.
Number 2.
Alt Killian and Alt Martha. Martha was only in this to piss off her mother, evidently, which didn't really work out because Katharina was way madder when Jonas turned up.
Number 1.
Eli and Yasin. These star-crossed lovers were simply never meant to be, a romance too pure for this world whose implosion would lead Yasin down a dark path to becoming Alexander.
Top 10 worst characters to ask to dispose of a body. Number 10.
Bartosz. He will always find a way to mess up the simplest of tasks.
Number 9.
Helge actually did dispose of a few, well, disposed of in the sense that he essentially threw them over the fence into the neighbour's timeline and let them figure out what had happened.
Number 8.
Tronte will attempt to cover for his nocturnal body hiding by fabricating stories about bushes.
Number 7.
Young Helge is a weak child, also kind of creepy, feel like he would be suspect number 1 as soon as a body turned up.
Number 6.
Yasin. Yasin doesn't dispose of bodies, he creates them.
Number 5.
Erich Obendorf. Gone, but not forgotten. He became a body and left behind a drug stash hidden in a chair. Not a resounding endorsement of his ability to conceal anything.
Number 4.
Jurgen Obendorf. If Jurgen is asked to hide a body, it's 100% ending up in his wet drug pit.
Number 3.
Torben Voller. If you give Torben anything illegal to hide, he will stick it in a truck and give the keys to Benny.
Number 2.
Charlotte Doppler. Charlotte will put you in a fridge. She'll do it with love, but it's still not a great hiding place.
Number 1.
Peter Doppler. Can't fight, easily panicked, just wants to make marmalade.
Top 10 characters. Number 10.
Claudia Tiedemann. Claudia gets the job done. She killed her dad, she rappels into a cave in heels, she's an all-action modern woman, and we all know she's got plans for fixing this time loop. Hashtag trust Claudia.
Number 9.
Jonas. Okay, so we're kind of cheating here. This is 3 characters, but they're all so damn good, or not good, as the case may be, that it'd be a crime not to include them. Jonas, Stranger, and Adam, 3 stages in the rise and fall of the closest thing Dark has to a consistent protagonist, if not a hero.
Number 8.
The Cleanup Crew. Dark has a habit of absolutely nailing character themes for its bad guys, and the Unknown, or the Cleanup Crew if you're nasty, have one of the best. These guys are murderous villains of the highest order.
Number 7.
Martha Nielsen. Which one, you ask? Well, all of them. Martha is a character who has always shouldered huge amounts of the dramatic burden in Dark, from the Ariadne play monologues to the numerous scenes between her and Jonas, to Eva chewing the scenery in her Eric Lux cave. Martha can always be relied upon to bring the goods.
Number 6.
Hannah Kahnwald. Easy to hate, impossible to love. Will Hannah ever find a successful romance? No. No, she will not.
Number 5.
Katharina Nielsen. Katharina's failing relationship with Ulrich marked a dramatic high point in Season 1, and while she has, at times, taken a back seat in the show, we always know what we're going to get from her.
Number 4.
Yasin Friese. The man who masterminded it all, faked his own death, influenced his way to the top of a crime syndicate masquerading as a nuclear power plant, Noah's arch nemesis.
3. It's a magic number.
Egon Tiedemann. Poor old Egon. He didn't deserve half of what he was subjected to in this show. In many ways, he's the moral heart, and the fact he is broken down as comprehensively as he is shows a cynical edge to the show's writing.
Number 2.
Inspector Clausen. There are a lot of reasons to hate Clausen, but one thing we can all agree on is that his sense of the theatrical flair is something that we can all appreciate.
Number 1.
Noah. Was Noah ever actually a priest? Doesn't matter, because one thing he has 100% always been is a badass. He loves his knives, he loves his apples, and he loves smoking fools, particularly children.
And now, for the main event of the evening, the top 10 moments of Dark! Number 10.
The 3 Portals Open, Season 2, Episode 8. What a montage. From Stranger accepting everything is his fault, to Charlotte's desperate attempts to stop Clausen from opening the portal and inadvertently causing the apocalypse, to the imperious visual display of the 3 portals across timelines opening simultaneously, one of the best moments in the whole show.
Number 9.
Alt Martha's reveal, Season 2, Episode 8. Blows everything wide open. At the end of Season 2, we might have been forgiven for being sceptical about how the show would up the ante for a 3rd season. An alternate world is how.
Number 8.
Stranger closes the passage montage, Season 1, Episode 10. Maybe this time I can escape my past? Maybe not, Mr. Stranger. The quiet life that the song pines for is forever lost to the inhabitants of Vinden, as Stranger inadvertently opens the passage, and Ulrich reflects on the implications of his choice to try and kill Helga, all while the effects of Stranger's actions ripple throughout all of the timelines.
Number 7.
The Storm Arrives Montage, Season 2, Episode 6. What would you wish for? A world without Winden. Jonas has brought the storm to 2019, and all of our characters must both literally and metaphorically run for cover, all but Michael, who has no choice but to die.
Number 6.
Hannah rejects Ulrich, Season 2, Episode 7. The natural culmination of Hannah's relationship with Ulrich. Would she have ever helped him? Perhaps, but his final rejection of her in 1950 assures that he will be subjected to the wrath of a Hannah scorned.
Number 5.
Mikkel arrives at school in the 80s to Tears for Fears, Season 1, Episode 3. Dark is sparing in its use of licensed music that evokes a stereotypical feeling of a particular era, which makes it all the more satisfying when the creators sneak an 80s banger into the soundtrack. Number 1 with a bullet is Shout playing as Mikkel turns up at school.
Number 4.
The cleanup crew burn the Sic Mundus temple, Season 3, Episode 1. The introduction of the cleanup crew, along with their amazing score and the visual richness of the scene itself. This is how you debut bad guys.
Number 3.
Ariadne's song Montage, Season 3, Episode 4. As the cleanup crew finish their confessional book, we see the beginning and end of all things in the loop. Jonas has lost the thread tying him to his world and seeks refuge in Alt Martha's arms, an act which will see all that we have seen before happen again.
Number 2.
The Death of Katharina, Season 3, Episode 5. The natural conclusion of Katharina's storyline as Helena Albers beats her daughter to death at the lakeside. The abusive storyline comes full circle, the St. Christopher pendant is left for Martha, and the Lady in the Lake story is revealed to be true.
And the number 1 objective best moment in Dark.
Ich bin du, Season 1, Episode 10. There are several Ich bin dus in Dark, but the best one is always the first. The reveal that we will be encountering older versions of characters from outside of their correct time period shakes up the foundations of the whole show.
Well guys, there it is. That's our top 10 lists. Well, Konrad, anything to say before we leave the video?
Just remember that these are objectively true, and we will be taking no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. No questions. Right, guys, thanks very much. Catch us in the next episode of the After Dark podcast every Monday. We are almost coming to the end of Dark. Konrad has never seen it before. If you have never seen the After Dark podcast before, go on a journey with us. Next, we're doing the OA. It's going to be great. See you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the After Dark podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode.